What up, traders? What up, investors? I think I'm live now. Looks like we're going live. Fantastic. Looks like, yep, everything is working now. I had a little bit of audio issues going through, but it looks like all is good in the hood. Thank you, everyone, for coming out for another fantastic live stream. It looks like some people are patiently waiting. DoorDash going back down or continue going up. FB is killing me. All tech seems hopeful tomorrow. Tim Cook's interview will cause some tech bounces. What's Tim talking about tomorrow? That's interesting. They having some kind of announcement again? Let's get the late night San Pellegrino. And please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It allows me to buy more San Pellegrino. I appreciate that, everyone out there. Again, I don't know who I need to talk to get sponsorships for Costco. I haven't seen anyone that has a Costco sponsorship, so I would love to be the very first one to have a Costco sponsorship. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are asking about NNDM. Hey, Leo, what's up, my friend? Roland One, yo. Can we look at Nvidia for sure? Apple CBS interview in the morning. Huh. That's interesting. What up, Plato? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, as of right now, looking at the market, we're looking at the S&P 500. The futures, of course, it's up 6 points basically. Gold's up nearly 1%. Nasdaq's up 27 points, about 0.25%. The RUT just about even, nothing to really talk home about. The VIX, aka the fear index, is hovering around 0.32% down. And then other couple things like the Dow is up maybe 0.15 as well. So Jason, I don't consider NNDM a penny stock, to be quite honest with you. Let's just go ahead and just jump right into the charts here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so the first one, I want to look at Dash. That was the first one on the list that came out. Yeah, Dash, wow, that's one heck of a move there. That is wow. Nice recovery, a very like an IPO kind of cup here that they sometimes consider here. And now we're seeing that really boost higher here. We really broke past that 185 level and looking for, again, breaking to all-time new high territory. So just be very careful on that one. FB, yes, FB is definitely being a little bit of a rough horse to ride. A little of a bucking bronco, I think it's an expression. With that, we are bouncing off that 250 level, which we talked about on the Sunday live stream. That we could potentially see, because we were initially looking for support around 260, but since we've broken past that 249 is basically the next level support. But again, those moving averages are looking pretty little spicy and a little bit aggressive to the downward side. So we potentially could even see that lower. The next level on the Fibonacci tree to the downside would be around the 236-ish range, potentially if that 249 does not hold there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, NNDM, let's look at that one. So I'm actually in NNDM, actually, Jason. So I have some longer dated leaps on it. Thanks to my friend Ariel who got me into it. With that being said, this thing it's kind of been choppy the last, what has this been, like 2.5, maybe 2-ish weeks at this level, depending, I don't know when you bought in, Jason, or if you're in it. But this has been kind of a stock that I don't like to say I fell in love with it, but it's just like I kind of like the story behind it and what they're doing. With that being said, it's been holding that 21 EMA fairly well for the past coming months, really. We do have some short-term support around $9, but if we do get any kind of pullback or anything kind of dips lower, we're going to be looking for some support around $8.25 to around $8 even to be the first level support if it does go down at that level. And NVIDIA, yes. NVIDIA, is if GTFO is on the live stream tonight, him and I have been trying to get long this son of a gun multiple times. Like, it had this huge pop the beginning of the year and then came right back down. Now we're getting another huge pop and that's coming right back down. But the thing is it's trying to build higher here. I actually like Nvidia here. Again, we talked about it on the Sunday live stream as well, looking for potentially trying to break above that what is that, 562 level, which is a Fibonacci level that we're looking here from the previous swing high to low in the short term. With oh, 1 second. With that being said, that 562 level is going to be that, like, somewhat of a crucial point to really see that potentially break out that 562 to around that 588 level, which was, again, its previous high. Because again, if you look at this chart, it has literally done nothing for the past like 2 months. It's just been trading sideways. Apple, let me look at, I own Apple. I own stock in it, I think. Yeah, Apple, I like Apple, honestly. Some people hate it, whatever. Apple has just been doing a little bit better than some of the other tech-heavy stocks, because if you look at Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, they've just been really trading sideways. Apple has hit its all-time high just recently, but has come down pretty drastically, honestly. But it hasn't come down and really broken any key levels. We're looking for some strong support around 126 to 125. If we can stay above that, we could potentially get an earnings run, maybe test 130, 135 or above. But again, this is definitely again, we're talking about the largest company in the world. So Apple is definitely going to be moving the market if it does have any significant upward or downward movement in the overall stock. So just be very well aware of that. Apple's one of the stocks that I always have to look at, because again, what Apple does, a lot of the things you can kind of tell how the market goes. CRWD, that's crowd, right? Yeah, this one's, I've seen a lot of folks talk about this one. Again, very, very interesting play. It had that almost really beautiful kind of recovery here, making somewhat of a cup here, and then maybe showing a breakout here around 225, 226. Of course, we saw that really come through, and now we're up to nearly, what is that, 238, almost 238 for the high today, so making an all-time high as of today. The stock, again, since the virus and the start of the low of last March, it has been very much a upward projection stock, and it's been really getting a lot of attention due to the notoriety from working from home and other various components around that. Can we check on CLOVO? Yeah, this is the Chapath Papatipatipatil IPOC, correct? So this is, again, the company that was SPAC'd here. We saw a kind of a little misfortune here. A lot of, again, people are getting out of it before the stock drops. They wanted to get out before the merger happened, whatever. They were just waiting for that the IPOC to be announced, and they can just get out of it. With that being said, we had that huge run up from $10 to $17. Now it's a quote-unquote official company here. This is definitely going to be looking for some support around 14, even down to $13.50 to be some initial cushion. But again, we really need to kind of treat it like an IPO, an early stage company, and look at on the peripherals, on the sense of, hey, we might have to wait for a couple quarters to really get a decent price in this. But so full understanding it, I'm in this stock as well. It has been a little bit of choppy here, as you can see the last week or so. Really drastic moves from 17 back down to 14, 17, 14, and stuff like that. But if as long as it stays and holds the patterns that I like above the 34, really, I think this one would be just fine to hold for a little bit. FUBO. Oh my gosh, yeah, I got into that one. That was it actually came on the radar from someone on the live stream on Sunday. I noticed it was staying above that $25, $26 level. AKA was really hitting that red line, which is the 8 or the 50 SMA, and that's really I hate to repeat myself, the most like generic, basic support level that you can see. If that really does hold, that potentially could get a nice bounce in. Getting a huge bounce today, being up nearly 34% in one day. Nice move without a doubt. If we get that 5 and 8 crossing through the 21 EMA, we could potentially test $43 to $45 if that trend really wants to continue. Love it. NGA and EV, yeah. SY, I saw that one come across the board quite a bit on the options tree. Luckily, got in a little bit here. I think this might be a little bit of a hype thing. I believe the Dumb Money folks, I'm not calling them Dumb Money, that's actually their YouTube channel. Definitely check them out. Fantastic 3 guys who literally have millions of dollars in the way they trade and the way they invest is using basically data and arbitraging what is potentially could be happening, and they're just trying to get in front of Wall Street before they buy the stock up. They've done it multiple times with Crocs. Can't think of any other stocks right now top of my head that they've made a nice deal, a chunk of cheddar with that. And they highlighted this one actually today. Again, highlighting also there's rumors of it also going to be on the Mad Money with Jim Cramer tomorrow evening, so that potentially could get another boost higher. But this thing is kind of falling into line of a excuse me, a more of a traditional like IPO, EV, the FOMO behind it, because it has run up quite a bit here. Really holding that 5 and 8 moving averages and just continue to grind higher here. Really looking for potentially to break above 30 if we get any substantial news. Again, these SPAC EV companies, they can definitely run. To be fully considering of it, that have short-term support around $23 here. That's also where the 8 and the parabolic SAR dots are right now. If that does not hold, we're going to be again coming back down to the 21 EMA, which would be around $20 if it does have a pretty substantial pullback there. What's up, John? CCIV. Yeah, that's another one that came across the board that's luxurious. I think it was someone on the Discord pointed out to me. Again, like this is very difficult to say, hey, I should buy and get in front of this, because it was, again, that normal SPAC $10 and then it just jumps up on any kind of news. And then now it's just really like, how far can it go until it corrects? And again, we want to pay attention to the 5 and 8 moving averages on that to consider that those movements in those areas. Greg, what's up, my friend? Nike, they have earnings, right? Oh, they already had earnings. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nike, like, you can't go wrong with Nike. Like, I just watched the part 1 of the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO Max. Yeah, it was pretty insane on, I think they were paying him like $100 million over 4 or 5 years, and all the other endorsements he had. Like, Nike knows what they're doing when they know how to sponsor someone, and they really do have that brand recognition. But that being said, Nike, like, look at this. Like, this has been a complete monster of a stock here ever since the pandemic, and it's just really just shown on their strength. And really, again, I think I have to look at their last earnings of, maybe you might even know, Greg, like their percentage of sales online is just insane at their own website. Like it's really insane. Fcell, again, like EVs are on a roll. Like Fcell, again, I remember when we were talking about this one that was like literally like $2. Like this is absolutely insane what we're looking at here on this, another huge kick higher here. showing initial signs of being overbought. That doesn't mean it's going to come crashing down or whatsoever, but it's just being like, hey, a little bit of word of caution here. We have had multiple gap up days, so just be mindful of that. Will Jack Ma's continued absence be drag on Baba? I don't know, but Alibaba does not look pretty to me here at all. Like, it is really kind of breaking below that $227 level, which we talked about being initial support. If we get that more a pullback here and not really seeing like a base building or some kind of consolidation here, if we get more selling off or things like that, that could easily come back down to its low around $210, even down to 205, which would be the next level if it does want to continue on this downward projection here. But that's going to be definitely a hard one if it's going to be really tied to Jack or not. Plug is acting like Bitcoin, yes. Yeah, Plug, I know, Plato, I'm in Plug as well. This has been a very blessed ride here. In after hours trading, we're going up to 70. We talked about on Sunday, like, and I was kind of kidding, but I kind of thought of it like, I was like, it maybe could hit $78. Like, if this thing hits $78, this is definitely something, some kind of special stock here. That's really its next level to be looking at. Again, look at these multiple gap up days. They're not gap on days on hysteria. There's actually facts. There's actually, oh, a company just put in 1.5 billion. Oh, they're acquiring blah 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 blah, or the people were putting in orders. Da da da. Like, it's just this whole EV trend stuff. It's a trend. Like, it's, I don't know how long it's gonna last or when the bubble's gonna pop, if it's gonna pop, all this stuff. But as of right now, EVs are fantastic. Yeah. BNGO, yes, that is, a lot of folks have been asking about that as well. So BNGO, interesting as well. Again, we talked about this on the Sunday live stream. If it stays above that $4.34, that the momentum trade is still intact, which that means is that it could be continuing to grind higher here. It is kind of resting here at the 546-ish range. That's, again, a Fibonacci number that we're looking at here. Maybe trying to spool back up to get a kick higher, or maybe just kind of building a base here, maybe trying to consolidate this range. Really just waiting for its next move. Again, I'm not really going to be touching this with a 10-foot pole. It's not really my kind of cup of tea. Some folks are saying that they're doing it as an investment. I have to be a little bit careful on that, on exactly understanding the technology behind all that stuff. But that being said, this is, again, be a little bit of a careful stock. Want to stay it, like to see it above at least $4.30. But if that does not hold and we do get like an elevator or a sell-off coming into the stock, we could be seeing some support around $3.47, even down to $2.24. So be very careful with BNGO. What's GOEV? GOEV. I don't know. Oh, wow, it's going up 20 bucks. So what's 20 bucks at? It's kind of where it kind of looks like it opened up. This was not a SPAC. It looks like some kind of IPO. Let me just do a quick fib here. If this hits the 618 to, yeah, look at that. 1997 is the 618 here. So if it does, looks like an after hours trading got up to like nearly $21. If we do see this come out here strong into tomorrow, Wednesday, if it stays above that 1997, we potentially could get that lift up to 22.14, and then its all-time high previously around 24.90, even up to 28 here. Let me actually write that in my notes. That's a good pick. Who was that? XX, and who else was someone else playing that? Roland One actually said that one as well. That's interesting to play, to say the least. Always gotta take notes, right? Oscar, we did talk about Nvidia. I like Nvidia. It needs to stay up. It needs to get back above 560. It's just really been choppy mode all week. Oh, I mean, for the last like 2 months. G-Stat. What is G-Stat? You guys are bringing some good stocks today. Appreciate it. Oh, what flip flop? A penny stock that just got some kind of murmurs and it just took off like a bat out of hell. Wow. If you're in that, Zachary says, I got lucky and bought yesterday. Yeah, great. I'm glad you know you were lucky. Nice play, my friend. Okay, my chat just updated. Hold on. One second. Let's see here. David S. Hello, Ken. What a hell of a day, boys. Yes, it was. It was some choppy stuff going on. Looking like the market maybe wanted to kind of roll over at the beginning of the day, but then strength came out of nowhere. Yeah, again, I'm somewhat newer to HBO Max, so I don't know how they. Again, I'm really just used to. Well, I have Disney and then Netflix, and then Disney is very much an orderly fashion of like just doing one episode a week, and then Netflix just blah barfs everything out at you. Um, I see LN Biden announces his economic plan on Thursday, already priced in. Is this like a solar kind of play here? What was ILCN? I trust. Okay, clean energy. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Could be potentially priced in, but we have been somewhat overbought over the past coming week or so. So somewhat of a pullback to even 31, even down to 28 would be somewhat in the wouldn't be out of the ordinary. But again, that hype train, if that hype train comes into your station and goes choo choo, this thing could take off. So yeah, who knows? It's gonna be very hard to tell on that. Leo, I've been very good. Hope same with you. V is asking for GameStop. Has that broken 20 bucks yet? It has not yet. It looks like it has been having a little bit of issues like we talked about. I really want to see this above $20. Again, whatever your views are on it, the chart looks pretty interesting to say the least. It has bounced off that Fibonacci level and the 21 EMA here multiple times, but the only issue is it has that overhead pressure that's not being able to get above that $20 price target to really see anything to kind of come into play. If we do get the momentum and get that spool up, maybe a short squeeze of some kind, we can easily break through that $20 level to that all-time high of $22.50 and even test that $24 to $25 range. Trader Joe says, "Hey Ken, have you spoken on Walmart FinTech future?" Think so. I love Walmart actually. I own Walmart. It's one of my larger positions right now. Get a little bit made fun of about it, but it's really kind of my wheelhouse because it has that beautiful squeeze sitting up here on the daily chart. RSI is starting to climb. That volume zone oscillator is about to cross over the 0 level, which again is very exciting. If that does pop, we're definitely going to be looking for 150 to 153. I think this scan has a lot more potential than people think. I think people just look at, oh, it's a Walmart. It's where dumb people go. I don't know what they think. It doesn't really matter what they think. Is like it's making me money. So I think it's a great trade. To the downside, we're going to show some initial support around 146 to 147. If that really fails, we're going to be really coming down to the parabolic SCR dots around 145 as we speak right now. But I really do like it. And Trader, thank you for saying that you love the show. I appreciate it. David S says SN Sun W is on fire, oversold, making bank. SU Sunworks, yeah. Yeah, you're definitely making bank. Honestly, it's not even on the RSI 80 point level here, David. So it's not oversold. It has been in a squeeze, So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that normally last maybe 7 days. So like you can see here, we had a squeeze here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it kind of pulled back. So this could maybe last, maybe get some more momentum. Again, I don't know how much. Again, it's very hard to project that again unless I knew the exact number. But this is, again, you can kind of see here somewhat of a pattern here. It goes higher, potentially test that top, and then closes higher. So we could potentially looking for potentially $12 to $13 if it does have that momentum again to really carry over the next 2 or 3 days on that squeeze. GGG investor says, can we do FUBO? For sure, my friend. You think it has $40 resistance? Yeah, it can have $40 resistance. So as you can see here, I have my main fibs here down, but we can also do a smaller time frame fib, and that really strong resistance potentially can come in. What I want to highlight is the parabolic SAR dots and the 50 percentile move. If the 50 percentile move is not considered a fib number, 50% move, it's 50% move is just a nice half portion move. So from this level, to this high to this low here, it's really lining up around $42.59, which we potentially could get some resistance to the upside, and then that previous 44.75 there, my friend. E-machine 3110, you never know how things are. Like when something goes parabolic, like you're always beating yourself up like, oh, if I just kept in X amount of shares, I could have made another $1,000 or whatever the move is. Definitely to look at those really extreme prices. It's sometimes very difficult to, again, if you sold into strength and you followed your plan, if you said, hey, if I make 50% in a week off this stock, I have to take some chips off the table, or whatever your game plan, your trading risk tolerances is really, you have to have that plan, write it down in your head. Initially, if you're new, you should write it on a piece of paper or on a computer somewhere, and then really kind of hold yourself accountable to that. NIU, is that EV, Chinese EV company? Yeah. So this thing we had a break here, potentially around that $35 to the $36 level. We've seen that break out here, now reaching somewhat to some very high levels. We did also have a squeeze fire here long, which you can see here. It's been on 3 days, so potentially some targets has reached above 40. We potentially could see it to 45 there, David, there. And then you also said BLDP. Yeah, this is another one. This is looking for some overall pressure coming in, potentially around 36 again. Very extreme level, looking at some initial first signs of being overbought here with the volume zone oscillator and the RSI here. So $36 and potentially even to $40, because again, it doesn't have to completely follow those fib numbers. They can get within like $1 or $2 of each other, and that's just kind of fine from that level. AMD, yeah, a lot of folks wanted to see AMD. AMD, again, one of my largest positions as well. It has been in a very tight squeeze in the past like month and a half. It has been kind of bouncing around that 98. It's been trying so hard to hit that $100 level. Like just the other day, we talked about Penn. They finally broke past 100. I think AMD's, it's this time they need to get that oomph to go out tomorrow to potentially see that kind of rocket higher here. I'm still going to be buying this on any kind of pullback to around the $93 to $94 level, but keeping it on a tight leash if it does start breaking and closing below $89. That's going to be my level to take some capital off the table if we do close below that. But the overall goal is still to kind of break above 100 with my longer dated options, which I haven't touched yet, is looking for 110 to even 127 over the next coming year or so. Oh, shoot. Hang on one start. Oh, my God. My thing just updated. Let's see here. It just updated again. Sorry. MP, yes, MP material. That's the mining company. This thing again, nice little move today as well with a pretty. It was only 18% up being today. This is definitely a pretty impressive move without the doubt. Looking for again potentially trying to hit 36. We do have the parabolic SDR darts kind of coming into line, so we potentially could get some signals from that. But again, this is a little, I'm going to call it a FOMO trade, but this is definitely somewhat news driven, and then people just getting on the bandwagon and can really kind of run this up pretty fast here at these levels here. So we have to be a little bit mindful about that. Again, I added this position around $30 because it was kind of consolidating here and staying really nicely above the 21 EMA. And then, of course, just out of dumb luck, had a huge bid today and it really kicked it higher. So it's been a nice little trade there as well. Rob, we did GEVO. That is the one. Which one did we did that? I know we did that one. Yeah, this one again, very much on the parabolic side and very heavy momentum driven, with short-term support coming down to 450 to 430. If we get any kind of pullback, I know that seems extreme, but this thing is looking for some potential overbought signs, so be very careful on that. But again, that doesn't mean that it needs to come crashing down. Like this thing could run if it has that momentum and volume comes in. It's really going to be price and volume over anything else. Okay, all right, 1 second here. Let's see here. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Look at someone to Netflix. Yes, Netflix. That thing is kind of like in a weird boat. Like, are they having problems over there? Like, are people going to be looking at potentially them having earnings problems because they have earnings coming out on Tuesday of next week, right? Yeah, looks like Tuesday of next week. Hit this level here pretty hard, the 144, around $486. My only concern is that the candlestick looks okay because it's kind of making a forming of a hammer. But the 5 and 8 have crossed to the 21 EMA. It's just kind of been acting a little strange here. Again, with earnings on the just around the corner here, we could potentially get a bounce here, maybe a little jump up to 500. I don't want to speculate on that. As of right now, I really don't want to be touching this one. Maybe selling some premium, like really crazy premium, like around like 460 to 450 going into earnings. But yeah, I really don't want to be touching this one, to be quite honest. Like it's been a little bit strange here as well. It's just been very too much choppy for me, to be quite honest. CLSK. CLSK, oh wow. Again, I think this was an ARK investment. I think this rings a bell. Really strong move here. Again, you can see here it's been holding the 5 and 8 moving averages quite steadily here and just continue to grind higher. We have hit that overbought multiple times, but it just kind of consolidates and then pops right back up, consolidates, pops back up. As long as it stays above that 8 EMA, that momentum trade is still intact. If we start getting a deviation from that and start breaking or closing below that, we're going to be kind of coming down to the parabolic SER dot, which is kind of around 28, and then the 21 EMA, which is around 27.75 there. And TDOC, yeah, TDOC, that's another big position from ARK, right? This one has kind of hit that wall, which we've seen a couple times before, hit that 230, 235 range. We've seen it hit here and then here once. So the third time's a charm to potentially break out. I don't know, but it did have a squeeze behind it, and it did fire long. So you're not familiar with the squeeze, it normally could last, it's on day 4, so it could last another 2 days. So going into Thursday, we could maybe try to print higher here, maybe looking for some consolidation. If we do get a pullback, the first level support is going to be around 215 to 216 there, my friend. Oh shoot, my dang thing just updated again. Let's see here. K4, greetings from Germany. Nice. Where are you at from Germany? I lived in Stuttgart, Germany for a quite period of my life. Actually, my mother is German, so I know. I can spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch. Achtung. Awesome. I got people from Germany watching. That's flipping awesome. All right. Okay. Looks like a lot of people are joining. Thank you, everyone. This is fantastic. We want to look at, let's do Amazon. I saw Amazon. Yes. Amazon and Google, all the communication stocks. Well, Google and Facebook got hit today, probably due to censorship. This being said, I still like Amazon here. It has been very beaten down. It does have a potential earnings coming out towards the end of the month. It's not for sure yet. It looks like the Thinkorswim still gives it a question mark here, but this is potentially somewhat within reason where the market or the earnings could be towards the end of the month. That being said, we've hit this level around 3,078 multiple times here. We definitely could see a nice bounce here if we get any kind of good news and the overall market is up. This definitely will take a good portion of the tide here and potentially could push Amazon up. Really potentially setting this up for a play for an earnings run. So if it does hold here, we potentially could see this run up to the 3,200, even to 3,300 running into earnings. And I also said Lewis is Tesla, TSM as well. Tesla, of course, this thing has still been a monster. It has not continued going higher, to going to 1,000. I think we're hitting a little bit of a wall of worry here of people hey, this party's getting a little hot here, and the DJ's music's kind of changing here. Initially, to the short-term side, we're going to be looking for support around 790, even down to 800. It's going to be kind of a level of support on the short-term side, though. If we do get any kind of pullback in the overall market or EV kind of stock crash or correction, we're going to be looking for 717 to 695 potentially for some levels going there. Let's see here. Earl G, what's up, my friend? Thoughts on SMCI and Disney? Thank you. SMCI, let's see here. Super microcomputers. What is, that's like the most generic name. What do they do here, Earl? The super duper computer company. Looking again, it's trying to test its all-time high. The last week and a half, 2 weeks, this has been a nice trend here, really following up this basically a very slow but steady move here, looking for potentially 33. If we do get an earnings run, it looks like the last quarter had a huge pop, and the last quarter was the one before that was a flop. It's hard to kind of project that out. But that being said, if we do get above 33 and the quarter looks fantastic, that $38 is going to be a very key target to potentially get hit there. And then Disney, Disney as well has been kind of a mixed bag here. Again, we had that huge pop on that news of releasing a lot more content from Star Wars to Marvel kind of stuff via their Disney app, and announcing the really large amount of subscribers they've added just in the last year to their platform. Again, just seeing some normal chop here. It's kind of somewhat consolidating here, which is good, honestly. It's letting that consolidation up here while it's letting the longer dated moving averages to kind of catch up here. If we do get a bounce here around the 175 to 173 and get a squeeze set up, this definitely could pop up to 190 to potentially even $200. Again, seems insane, even though their parks are closed, cruise lines aren't working, and sports are not fully officially running. They're still printing money, thank God, to their Disney Plus subscription app. Michael, we did do Tesla. So Tesla, we're really just kind of looking for potentially some consolidation at that level. Again, anything can happen, so just be very, very careful out there with that one. It's a server manufacturer. Okay, nice. Oh, sorry, my chat just updated. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I saw someone say about Rackspace. Okay, my chat is going really fast now. Sorry, folks. It looks like a lot of people are asking questions. Rackspace, I know this company. Of course, they make server racks and other things regarding data center stuff. Initially looking for this again, IPO'd, had a huge run higher like we normally see IPO stocks, consolidated, sold off, really had two earnings already, now had that kind of run up higher, hit that $21 level, has not been able to really come back from that. Again, it's been somewhat of a squeeze here. If this squeeze fires lower, we're going to be potentially breaking below 19 and heading to 18. But if the squeeze can consolidate and we can get some volume into the stock and get some positive buyers into this, we could potentially see a break above 20 to hit that $21 level if we get that momentum going from that. I saw the ticker symbol apps as well. Looks like that. I actually like that one as well. This one has been a very nice play over the last coming months, really. It has been holding a very tight pattern, just continue to stair step higher here, and really looking for this one to continue to grind higher here. With that being said, we did sell that consolidation here, coming back down to around the $50 price target, and then looking for that ramp up here, kind of potentially trying to test that $58 level. We could potentially get a bounce here, maybe some consolidation at that level, or we can just really just rip through that and potentially just run to 65, even to $70, if depending on the momentum behind the stock in that point in time. I know that looks like German to me, and I don't know what it says. I'm sorry. I can't read German. What am I watching for tomorrow? I'm looking for AMD. I'm looking for AMD, Snap. Maybe like seeing how Uber reacts. I have Uber stock as well. Yeah. CTRM. Yeah, nothing to add on that one, my friend. Sorry. RMO, this is the battery company, right? This is an interesting one. This is actually one I wanted to look at and understand a little bit more. I didn't understand. There's just so many like a lot of research and homework to do in the sense of trying to come in and figuring out if the company's legit or not. This has come up quite a bit here. The RMO, the Romo Power Inc. We are seeing the 5 and 8 do actually crossing through the 20 EMA. If we cannot stay above that 1850-ish level to around the 1725, that potentially could be a negative downside. But this could also be a lagger, lack of a better words, on potentially getting a huge bid coming in the next couple days. Who knows? Like it hasn't been discovered, it hasn't been posted on a lot of subreddits or whatever reason. Like it just hasn't had that momentum. Again, sometimes that could be a good thing, but we've seen this level around 1875 been support here before, because you can kind of see her back here in the early stages of December. But again, this is not, it's gonna be a little bit more of a FOMO driven stock though when it does pop. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Yeah, CTRM, I can't really touch that. That's just too much of a penny stock for me, sorry. What's my thought on gold? So when we're gonna look at gold, we're just gonna look strictly at the futures here. I think gold is, again, it's like kind of like Bitcoin. You should have a little bit of it in your portfolio. Not gonna be like a 50% of it, maybe 5 or maybe 10, depending on what your age limit is. That being said, gold has a pretty strong support around $1,800. This is the futures. We can also look at GLD here. It has shown support around 172 here multiple times here. That being said, it's really going to be tied to if we cannot get that 5 and 8 moving averages to bounce off here and try to get back up some higher prices. Again, really much driven to the potential trade of inflation. Like if our people are going to be really looking at the Joe Biden inaugurations and speaking on seeing if there's going to be any tells of what his administration or what he potentially could be doing. The market loves it. Like I'm debating and I'm thinking about it. I might put a poll out on the YouTube and on the Discord if folks want me to live stream the inauguration, and in real time we can be looking at different stock ideas. If he starts talking about EV buses, people are going to be talking about NGA and Bluebird buses as well, and other various components of EVs or clean energy, solar panel stocks, solar powered stocks, all this kind of stuff. Like, I think it might be a fun opportunity and just have a lot of fun with the overall move of that. Have we talked about TXNP? TXNP. I don't think we have. I don't see TXNP. I'm sorry, man. What about Solo? Solo. Riding Solo. Solo, yeah, this is another EV company like we talked about. EVs, the hot ticker item here. We have been in a very much a tight squeeze here. If we do get this to kind of potentially print higher here, above $9, we are the first day of the squeeze popping higher. So this normally can last anywhere from 5 to 7 days. So we could potentially, if this momentum continue, we can break above 9. We're going to be potentially looking for 10. And if 10 breaks, we're going to be looking for some extremer prices around the higher levels of around $12. So that's going to be something we're going to be looking at here. And someone's pinging me here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Ariel, you're crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Solo. So yeah, this is the Canadian one? I always forget this one. Okay, like guys, you guys are killing it. Chat is moving so fast here for me. Ken, can you look at HEPA, because I believe it's waiting for a blast off, but so some research and maybe doing making big bucks. Let's look at it. Hold on, my light just turned on here. There we go. It got really bright on me. So again, Andrew, full understanding, like pharmaceutical stocks are very hard and difficult to hold. For me, I've played the game with pharmaceutical stocks. I'm sure that you've done your research and your acknowledgement of what potentially could happen or move here. we are seeing somewhat of a squeeze going on here. First day of squeeze. If it does pop, we're going to be looking for around $2 to 270, so 272 to 275. But with the pharmaceutical stock, it's so difficult to really play here. I can give the very broad example of what people looked at with SRPT. Like, look at this one. Like, this thing has had some bad data. The CEO and the company was like, hey, well, the data was slightly skewed because we were looking at younger children with giving this particular drug to help the disease, but the older kids that had the disease at a much higher degree, it didn't really show too much of a improvement. So that really, they said, really affected the data. So that really kind of, in a sense, screwed the lower levels of acceleration and really just improvement. And that stock just got killed in the last like week or so, dropping from basically $170 to $90 because of it. And that's the reason why I'm very, very cautious talking anything about these various pharmaceutical stuff. Okay, guys, you guys are killing it. I appreciate everyone. Thank you. Drew, okay, Wall Street projected an average of 10. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, again, if the researchers are going to have much more knowledge of me. The chart looks really choppy to me, so I can't really add too much to that. I'm sorry. Someone's saying, hey, just stumbled on the site, never newer to investing, been eating up what I can find. The show was in my feed. Well, welcome, McDaniel. What is the impact of impeachment? I don't know. Like, that could definitely. I don't even know how that would react. To be quite honest with you, when the time comes, we'll worry about it. We'll cross that bridge. But that's something I think with literally 8 days left or whatever it is, who knows what can happen, right? Like, I'm not going to speculate on that, honestly. We'll have to deal with it once it gets there. With FedEx, this has been literally a bobsled course here. What I mean by that is just it's been completely downhill. But now trying to recover here, potentially trying to stay above the 237 here. If we do get a break above 250 and getting it closed above that, we could get some a positive notion from that. With that being said, really need to see this kind of level off here, because again, look at that line. That's basically at like a 45-degree angle pointed down here, just a very aggressive downward motion. Now looking for potential bounce here. Again, consolidation is key here, a strong base here. If we do get a strong base, kind of get these moving averages, even the 21 EMA, to stop pointing down and kind of start making a nice gradual curve here, and really potentially see the prices level out and then start trying to test above 250 to 260 there with FedEx. If that doesn't work, we have some support around, what is that, 237 to 234 on the charts there. FUTU, says Drew. Drew told me to F you. Oh my gosh. Oh. Drew. Why aren't you? I should have let you trade my account. This one is definitely one that has been on my radar and just waiting. Maybe I didn't have the patience. Like, I think I got shooken out here. Yes, I got this. It wasn't a squeeze. I got shooken out because it closed below the 34, and then it hit that 50-day, came down to the $38 Fibonacci number, and then just took off like a rubber band out of a rubber band. I don't know what I'm saying. Basically a bat out of hell. It was gangbusters, took off, and is now. I hope you made some cheddar off of that, Drew. Bentley is asking for GNOG. Yes. So my buddy Ariel loves this stock as well, and this is definitely one that is again was a SPAC. I forget the name of the SPAC or the ticker for the SPAC, but it has fully gone into the Golden Nugget Online Gaming. With that being said, it has been holding somewhat around the 1925 level, initially looking for a break above 2114. If we do get a break above 2114 and we get the 5 and 8 to print higher here, we're going to be looking for some levels around $23 to $24. So those are going to be some key levels if we get a break, with downward support around 1934 on the very short-term side, even down to 1884 on the short-term side. But we have to be super mindful about this one if we do get a break. It is a nice somewhat consolidating here. We just want to see again that RSI and the volume zone oscillator are potentially looking, if it does get a move higher, this definitely thing could run above $23. Let's see here. Alexander, what's up, my friend? Can we cover Alibaba? Yeah, this one has just been, again, a lot of issues going on here. Again, transparency does not I don't think that word quite exists in Chinese investing here with transparency in their government. With that being said, we have had just multiple of issues with the Ant IPO failure, then the antitrust probe into Alibaba. Then we have Jack Ma completely laying low, disappearing, or whatever the words are they're using in the press. But looking for this to hold potentially around $227. If it doesn't, and we start getting the 5 and 8 moving averages across through that, we're potentially testing 220 to even back down to 210, which was the low when that first initial large move happened from there. But yeah, if this does want to print higher, some key levels to break is potentially the 237 to 240, and really try to get back above the 250 range there as well. Yeah, the SPACs are definitely on fire. Like I can't highlight that enough. Hey, that just happened. Yo, IPO to Z seems like easy money. it that's what they call it, a blank check, and just park your money in there. If you don't need the money ASAP or whatever reason, just park it in there and just wait for it happens. I saw BTBT that has come up quite a bit. Let's see, BTT. Wow. Okay. Is this a SPAC? No. Okay. This is a stock. Okay. Looks like it's some kind of SPAC, doesn't it? Huge rip higher here. Hit the overbought here as well in the RSI and the volume zone. Came back down. It has hit off the 21 EMA here. So this is again somewhat of a normal pattern here. If we do stay above that 1625, we can easily potentially get back above that $20 level there if it does stay above there, and it really follows the fib numbers. Hero, what is that? Okay, Global X FDS video game esports. Interesting. So this is like an esports kind of company kind of thing. I like it. It's actually a nice little beautiful chart here. It's been holding the 5 and 8. A little bit potentially overextended. The RSI is not printing red, so that's kind of good. Short-term support is going to be coming around $31.75, and then a little bit more support around $31. Potentially, if it does kind of consolidate a little bit and maybe wait for those moving averages to catch up, that could be a nice buying opportunity. But that's a really nice, pretty chart there, my friend. Joel says plug, buy, sell, or hold. Depending on what the pattern you're looking at, I sold some of mine going into strength here, and I'm holding a little bit just for the long term. Jared, yeah, exactly. Like, if you, yeah, exactly. Chamath has a pretty good reputation. People love him. People really think he's like the next Warren Buffett. Whatever reasons behind it, definitely, I would love to have a cup of coffee with him. That being said, would like to again, I don't like to say it's a guaranteed double the money because again, you can't guarantee anything in life. The only thing you can guarantee is death and taxes. With that being said, though, looking at again any of those SPACs, again, the way I do my due diligence on the SPAC is really understanding the folks who are running it, and they done it before. It's basically like if you are a venture capitalist, if you're looking at certain companies, you just want to look at there's no track record, even if the product is like blah, because you don't know what the product is right now. They're just kind of just really following the name behind the SPAC. So I think that might be overused because again, I see a lot of SPAC like, oh, Mark Cuban, Bill Ackman, Bill Gates, Chamath Palihapitiya, Reed Hastings, blah blah, and it just goes back and forth. So just be very careful on that, though. Ryan says BTBT is a bit Bitcoin connected. Okay. Hey Ken, blesses from your Brooklyn brother. Nice, Brooklyn. Can you do the review of Square? My wife stayed. What is it? I think it is in Brooklyn. Is the Dumbo district in Brooklyn? That was like a couple years ago. It's a beautiful open area. Anyways, with Square here, um, interesting play again. It's kind of pulled back here a little bit. But it's pulled back in a natural state. It has stayed above the 21 EMA. Really trying to stay it above the $222, even above 220, but it can come down to 217 to 215, and that would be just fine to kind of bounce off that. We don't want it to stay down there because this is somewhat of a heavy momentum driven stock, but it has had such a large run. It just needs to kind of potentially catch its breath and maybe do a little bit of chop, some consolidation here to maybe try to spool up for the next move higher. The next move higher is potentially looking for around that 236 to 240 there, my friend. David S says, "Did you look into PEX options?" Yeah, I saw it. I looked into it, David. But I had so many other things that I was getting into and some larger sizes. I think the trade's still there, honestly, David. Um, what options did you get into? Because I'm looking at. Let me just look at this real fast. So it has. Why is my charts not being updated at or above? Please add. No, that's not working. Anyways, looking at April, uh, maybe I'll buy a little bit in February and maybe put more into April. I kind of like the $6 ones in April and maybe even the sixes here on February. Yeah, I might put like a couple shekels in there, a little bit of cheddar, maybe print some money. I'm going to make sure I write that down to tell myself to do that. And thank you, David. Always keep me on track. Um, Ryan says, "Have you done DD?" We did CLOV, but what's DD? I have not done DD. Wow. Yeah, I think it was it you, Ryan, who brought this up to on the Sunday live stream. This has been a fantastic move. Like that's insane. This is DuPont. This company's been around for like 100 plus years. It is like ripping higher here. This just really shows you that these staple stocks, are really coming back and really really killing it. On lack of better words. Have we done Aramata F LFUV. Wow. All right, guys. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe so I can get sponsored by Costco and I can get fantastic Kirkland stuff. Again, if anyone works at Costco and you want to ping me, email me to let me know on how I can get sponsored by Costco, I would greatly appreciate that. Because I haven't seen anyone. Has anyone seen anyone sponsored by Costco? Wouldn't that be fantastic? I would love to be sponsored by Costco. With that being said here, we have been in a squeeze here. We have fired long, which is great. We had that little base break around 1570 here. And now seeing that really kick higher here, potentially trying to test 20. If this trend can continue and that squeeze can really push us and elevate us higher, we're going to be looking for 2250 or even higher there, my friend. But downward support initially is around 1570 and then around $14 there. I saw a couple people, and then I also just saw Randall McDaniel. Love his name. How about mRNA pull back the last few days, which has been heard now. Keep it up, rocket ship long term. Yeah, this is definitely, again, I believe this is connected to Bitcoin too as well. We are definitely seeing that kind of rocket higher here, potentially trying to test the 2755 level. If, again, Bitcoin as of right now is down 1%, so I'm not completely sure the correlation between the two. With that being said, initial short-term support is going to be basically coming in around $20.40 or wherever the 8 EMA lies on the daily chart. That being said, if it does want to pull back substantially, we're going to be looking for 1760, even down to 1455 as well. Kale Boy says, hey Ken, hope all is well. I'm holding the FUBO 20, 30-3 calls, 125 average price. I've been expecting 100% right now. As keep running. Thank you, my friend. Again, if you're able to, I don't know how many calls you said you have. I would take a little bit off the table because FUBO has run up quite a bit here. Again, it was only up 34% today. If you said you have the or you have 20 $30 calls. So let's look at the chain. You have the January 22nd, the $33 call. So you're in the money. You got a nice chunk of change. There's a lot of open interest. So theoretically, if you're up a nice chunk of change, you should take a little bit off the table because you never know what can happen within the stock market. So at least pay yourself a little bit or what you feel comfortable with, and maybe letting a little bit of it run because you do have a little bit more time left. You only have 10 days left, so it's not that substantial. The only thing is if you do get a pullback, you might not be able to recover from that. So you're really just going to come down to what your risk preference is. Kale Boy, thank you for the $1.99, my friend. Thanks. Love it. Oh, it's down under the Manhattan Bridge. I know it was near the bridge, near the water. That's all I remember. And I was told by someone, they're like, they're like, Dumbo, like 30 years ago was like full of like crackheads and just like terrible like crime and everything. But now it's like a very affluent space where it has like really high-end apartments and condominiums. A lot of people are asking for that CTNA. Like, what? Am I CT? Is it CTRM? Yeah, this is, again, very much, it's a penny stock, which we talked about. Like, it's very difficult to say. It has some overhead pressure around 33 cents to 35 cents. I know the volume is picking up here, which is a good sign. If it does want to kick higher here, okay, I'm going to do my best here to kind of give you potentially some fibs here, okay? I really am. I have to do it on a shorter time frame. Let's do this here. We're gonna do an hour chart over the last 20 days, okay? So that kind of gives us a little bit better time of reference on these levels here. So I hopefully, again, penny stocks are very heavily moved and manipulated, so you have to be super careful with those. With that being said, initially you can kind of see here from this move into after hours today, we are hitting the 618 around 36 cents. If that does not hold, we can potentially looking for 32 cents and then back down to 28 cents. That could be some support there. We have seen the 28 cents be some level of support. That's kind of where the 34 EMA hits there as well. If it does break higher, we're going to be looking for 42 and then the previously $50 cents level with the trend. If it really wants to kick higher, we're going to be looking for 56 cents to 70 cents to those higher prices there. So I really hope that helps a little bit. I know it's not really my cup of tea, but that's what we're looking at the short-term options trade there. Is FUV at 755? Did we just do FUV? You got FUV. It's nice trade, my friend. That's awesome. Gary says, yeah, we've done NGA. So again, very much a heavy driven momentum stock right now, because again, a lot of people have talked about it. I know the fantastic duo means two. The fantastic trio over at Dumb Money highlighted this today. This has been murmured over the last couple of days. I think it came up actually on the live stream on Sunday for a couple of people talking about it. But now we're looking for this potential further run higher here on just on strictly the momentum of folks buying it, because of it's getting a lot more eyes on it, and it's also rumored and the murmurs through the grapevines that it could be potentially on Jim Cramer's in the next couple days. Oh, McDaniel, thank you for the $5. How often do you live stream charts? I'm digging this. As a new member, it can be so cool to have questions answered. I like to do so. Randall, I do a live stream every Sunday at 9:30. That's always the go-to, and I try to do at least one during the week, if possible, maybe even two. I'm trying to ramp that up because the recent surveys, people like yourself have asked for more and more live streams and more one-on-one reactions and just talking about charts. No, David, I meant like 30 years ago. It was like a crime central, right? Like it wasn't mostly New York, like a huge heavy crime ban. But Randall, thank you for the $5. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. Someone said ask for a piton. Yeah, what's that? I haven't looked at that in the last 2 days. Yeah, Piton has just been kind of like consolidating here, having a little bit of trouble getting above 160 here. Again, it's not breaking lower and really crashing in any sense of the way here. If it breaks below 145 to that 140, we do have pretty strong support around 140 if it does hit that level. But again, it has earnings coming up on this. Looks like the first week of February potentially. That is that little question mark. It's not a for sure time frame. But if we look back at its last earnings, it did have a dip down, I think due to the fact of some of the subscribers and the overall growth, and really coming back down to are people going to be flooding back to the gyms once the vaccine and everything is ruled out and the virus is in the back, in the rear view mirror, in the sense. If we do get a break and we get any kind of momentum or push higher or some kind of upgrade from an analyst or whatever, it can move the stock here. That 160, we're going to be looking for, again, that key target to potentially break is 170 if it doesn't get to that level there. Yes, I love my Disney. Yeah, I own long-term leaps. I own the stock here. It's in my daughter's portfolios. Really going to be rolling that into this. Again, it had a huge move higher, again, due to a lot more folks subscribing to it than people thought. It has some of the best content if you're a Star Wars fan or Marvel comic book folk. Some of the best content as of right now. Like they paid such a little premium on it. I think they paid, what was it, 3 or 4 billion for Marvel, and they paid a little over 4 billion to George Lucas and for Star Wars. Like, insane, right? With that being said here, initially looking for some support around 173 to 174. If we do get a break below that, we could potentially come back down where the breakdown initially was, which is around 170 to 168. But this is somewhat normal. Had a huge gap up higher. Now it's kind of just trending water, kind of trading sideways, really waiting for the 21 to 34 EMAs to kind of catch up, to kind of give it a boost higher here. I think this definitely could potentially get up to $200 before we even know it, honestly. But again, I can't tell the future, so if it doesn't hit $200 and starts breaking lower, we could be seeing it back down to 170 there, at least to that level there. Guys, thank you so much for the fantastic people coming out today. David S says, I'm a third generation Brooklyn native, so crime doesn't even matter. I love it. What is my thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on surging holdings in Bitcoin and crypto miners? Again, like as of right now, Bitcoin's down a little bit. I think, again, it's a little bit of a FOMO trade. I think it's totally accurate in the sense of folks are interested in it. I think it's going to be new technology. I think it's the future, but I think the carriage is getting in front of the horse here a little bit, and we might get a little bit of a pullback. A lot of people asking for Wish. I wish upon a star for Disney. Interesting. Nice consolidation here around $20. Again, not really too much to talk about here. We can do a fib here though. I like this. Really want to see it above $21.08. The next level is being around $22 there to really see that potentially get that upside going there. So that's going to be something we want to look at if you're interested on that. I don't know why my chart's not updating here. With that being said, it is a little bit of choppy mode. Really looking, if we do get that momentum, any kind of push higher, we're there with price, we could definitely see that back up to $22, but it has some support around $20.20. Wow, guys, I got some donation. Joel, thank you for the dollar, my friend. Thank you. Kale Boy says, can we do mRNA and ICL stocks to the moon? Yes, we can definitely check those out. So Moderna, right? mRNA, that's the technology behind the virus. This is a tough one, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to tell you how much stock I owned at like $10 on this one. It was pretty, what was it at? Or was this? I think I owned it like at 12, what was it? I owned it around here, like really crazy low prices. Anyways, that being said, it's fine. That's another story for another day. Interesting pattern here. We saw that super extreme level here once the very positive news of the FDA approving everything came out. Really consolidated. We saw the 5 and 8 cross through of it. It bounced off pretty hard off the 50 SMA here, which is the red line. Now we're looking for potentially a boost higher here. So if that, again, taking the name out of it and just strictly looking at the chart here and looking at the potential targets that we could be looking at here. With that being said, if we do get a break above 131, we could get a run to 140 to 150. But again, a lot of things need to happen. The momentum has changed. The RSI is trying to print higher. The volume zone oscillator is also trying to switch higher to potentially get into positive territory. So if we do get that 5 and 8 crossing over to the 20 EMA, we definitely could get this potentially going to the moon for you there, Kale Boy. But downside support's really be coming in around 115 there, and even down to 104, which is its previous low on support if we do get a pullback. And then ICLNA, we talked about this one a little bit, potentially being like a Biden key narrative. I think this definitely could move higher going into the inauguration coming next week, because again, and I think this could be going up for a long time. Like, this is not just a trade. It could be a trade for a couple days, but I think this is going to be a little bit more longer winded because, again, Biden potentially is going to be in office for 4 years. So that Clean Energy Act and stuff like that could definitely continue to push that higher. Dylan, thank you for the flying $10, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are killing it. I appreciate that. You guys don't have to do all that. I really do mean that. Again, that helps me. I just need help. I just need help from someone to get me that Costco sponsorship. I don't know what I need to do. Dylan, did you post something? Did you want to look at a stock? Did I see your name? Okay, the chart's moving really fast. I don't think I saw your name. Yeah, Robinhood's fine, honestly, McDaniel, if you're just doing, it's not going to be the best to do, like, it's not the best software to do, like, interactive charts like we're looking at here, but to place trades, it's completely fine. It does have outages at times, like, but it's a good place to get started. I'm not going to make fun of it or knock it like some people do. Again, Robinhood is the folks who really push the narrative of free commission trading. So I have to thank them a lot from the bottom of my heart for that. Jared, really? I didn't know that. They always cross-reference Robinhood with Google. Yeah, maybe just put in limit orders then. Just put in limit orders on your stocks. Thank you, Kale Boy. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Fish, can someone call Costco and ask? Can't hurt. Yeah, I guess it could. Like, if like 20 people called Costco, hey, there's this YouTuber. His name's Ken. He's dyslexic. He's kind of a cool guy. Can you guys sponsor him, please? that'd be awesome. All right, let's see here. A lot of folks joining. Appreciate it. NIO, yes. Let's. Oh, Dylan. I just saw Dylan post. Where was it? OPTT, please. Yes. Ocean Power Technologies. Interesting. This is a penny stock. I normally don't do these, honestly, very well. I've been trying to open up my mind to it a little bit more. I just have a lot of not frustration, but bad energies from penny stocks back in my past when I traded them. It wasn't a fun time. That being said, this is a interesting chart looking at the daily side. It has like huge moves higher, comes back down, huge moves higher, like a wave. Get it, ocean? Never mind. Too silly here. Move higher, kind of comes back down. Potentially, if we do get a break above that 309, because we have that very extreme falling parabolic SAR dots here, like we saw previously. If we do, the pattern looks really good, to be quite honest with you. Let me go back here real fast and just look. But the only thing is it's very extreme, though. That's the only problem that I have with it. So it looks like the previous move. Look at that. Hit that fib there. So if we do get a push higher and we get a break here, we potentially could run up to $3.58 here. But we do have some support, again, around the 21 to 34 EMA. But it looks like it's some really strong support around $2.40 or $2.39, kind of where the 50-50 SMA is. We kind of seen that consolidation here and that consolidation here as well. So that is a line in the sand really for support. But if this gets any kind of movement, any kind of bid, this definitely could fly. It looks like even in after hours trading, it's up a little bit, about 20 cents, 22 cents in some cases here. Which is kind of puts it up to its previous high just about a week and a half ago. Again, first level support or resistance is $3.58. But if this stock really wants to jump higher, that 446 even to 558 is something that could easily potentially happen with this very intense FOMO kind of a breakout there. My God, this chat is going on. What is going on here, folks? Trunk Ducky, what are your thoughts on BIOL? BIOL. Ducky, thank you for the $5, first of all. And yeah, we can take a looky-loo. BIOL. Yeah, man. You guys with these penny stocks, folks. I'm going to try my best, Ducky. So I don't know if you heard me talk to Dylan earlier. Penny stock's not really my forte here, but looking strictly at the chart, excuse me, at the chart here, very much a breakout here. We're seeing it overbought here on the daily side and the volumes on oscillator. That doesn't mean it has to come crashing down or kind of consolidate here, but this is definitely going to be looking at something that could run higher. If we look at previous moves here on the weekly side, we are seeing it really cross over the 200 EMA on the weekly side, around the 93 to 95 cents. It looks like we had a lot of resistance around $1.35 to $1.40. So that's going to be a key level between here and here. So if we just do a fib here to low, look at that. 160, which we just kind of talked about, that 140 to 160 range. A key level, we talked about 126 as well. So if this wants to continue running higher, we have some overall pressure, overhead resistance at the $1.26 to $1.59. Man, you guys are coming in with the hot items here, guys. Kale Boys asking for XPEV, also K2 to clean up the mind. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, I need to open up my mind to penny stocks. Definitely. The thing is, I normally trade options, and a lot of the penny stocks don't have options, so that's the only problem. Let me go to the daily chart. Yeah, this is a crazy FOMO move here as well. It's been holding that 5 and 8 average on the daily chart. Nothing really to tie to. The weekly chart looks fairly strong here. We have some potentially overhead pressure around $1.40. XPEV, there we go. We can do something different. Again, this is a Chinese EV company. Of course, this has moved higher due to the EV market, due to the NIO day, all this kind of stuff. Really had a nice somewhat consolidation here. It has been grinding up that 50-day here a little bit. Broke above 50, which again was previous consolidation or overhead support, overhead resistance. Printing higher here. Initially looking in the short term to around $56 to $60 to be that level of next level to this upward movement. And then KTOS, I think, doesn't Kathy and them own this stock here? This is again another interesting one. We've been holding that 21 EMA here. If we do get a break above 28 to the 28.50, trying to test its all-time highs, we could easily potentially run with the $30 here. So this is actually one I actually want to write down. I think I constantly write this one down actually, and I always forget about it, or I can't read my writing. Jared says, "We love you, Ken." Thank you for the $5 there as well, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Invested in caffeine says KLR. KLR. Ooh, that's a spicy one. A little bit of chop. I'm not the world's biggest fan of the chart here, but it does have some significant support around the 78.6% move, around $9.46. If we do get this squeeze to fire long, we could potentially see the break of 11 with some targets around $12.94. I kind of like this one, actually. What do they do here? That's a nice looking chart there. Joel is coming out with $2, my friend. Thank you, my friend. It is ACB buy, sell, or hold. ACB, I think I know this one. This is the Aqua. Yeah, this is a weed stock, right? Or marijuana. This is definitely Aurora. I think this is the weed stock, right? Again, I think the weed stocks will definitely print again, being a little bit more longer term mindset with the Democrats being in the president's seat, being in the House and the Senate as well. It's going to be pretty easy to pass things, and a lot of the Democratic Party has been pretty much the narrative of okaying, pushing the legalization of marijuana or medical marijuana for whatever reasons. I think this definitely could go higher. I don't know if this is the right one to do. I know there's a good ETF that I have been looking at is MJ, to really kind of play the overall, not NG, there we go, MJ, really trying to play this one to the overall understanding of the weed stocks. Again, just an ETF that has a multitude of the stocks and really just kind of playing the overall cohort. And I like this one potentially up to 19. I have some longer dated targets up to 25 with this one. But thank you again for the $2, Joel. That will definitely appreciate that. Ron Burgundy, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, my friend. We're going to do NNDM. Yes, NNDM has been a very spicy one as well. Here, we're looking to stay above, we're trying to break above $10 here. I am currently in NNDM as well with some longer dated options here. With that being said here, downward support is around $8, excuse me, $8.30 to $8 even. But if that doesn't hold, we're looking for some support around $7. But the break is really focusing on this topping pattern here, not meaning it's going to come down and crash. It has been consolidating. This thing has been on fire. Again, folks, this was a 50-cent stock just early last year, and has been run up quite a bit here. It's been really a lot of more eyeballs on it, a lot more real cash going into it. I know Kathy Wood and ARK Investment own a pretty nice movement in this. This is definitely a interesting one to see, and I'm really having some targets initially in the short term or overhead pressure around $11.42, and then even some longer dated targets around 16 if we get any kind of some moves up there. Space. So Space, yeah, this is one that has been a interesting one as well. It looks like it's trying to break out here. So this one kind of came on my radar today, because you saw the initial first stages, no pun intended, of first stage rockets, with the 5 and 8 crossing through the 21 EMA here, breaking above that 2578. So if we do get a break above that 2578 and really getting above 26, we could potentially try to test that previous fib number around $29 to $30, with the caveat of downside support around $25 there as well. This thing has been very choppy for whatever reasons. Again, some people criticize it because it's not making money. It's like an early stage SPAC. It's what's the point here? Blah, 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 whatever. Invested in caffeine. Thank you for the $1, my friend. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I don't own Litecoin, Matthew. I'm sorry. I don't have anything against it. I don't use Coinbase anymore. I'm really waiting for Tastyworks to unleash their crypto stuff. AR on, what do you think about APRE been beaten down, and they have been on a conference today. They're the debt-free, $85 million in cash. If they put that $85 million into Bitcoin, they'll be flying higher here. Well, what happened? Again, this is a pharmaceutical company, and clearly something happened here, and they got shot out of the sky here with a missile or something, and get sideswiped here, going from 25 to 4. They must only have like 1 or 2 drugs in the pipeline. That's usually the sign of something that went terribly wrong. Again, I don't know any kind of research regarding around it, but this is definitely a very aggressive downward move. It looks like it's trying to base build here. The 5 and 8 have trying to start curling over here. I think just a lot of people are hurt by it because they're seeing that, again, it was $25 2 weeks ago. Now it's $4. Like, I think a lot of people are just kind of licking their wounds. That's what we're kind of seeing here, and reassessing of what the company's worth and what's going on here. Lemonade is this one keeps on giving. I think, Jared, if you were there on Sunday, we talked about this one potentially reaching that $180 level, and it has. Like, it sold off a little bit towards the end of the day, I believe, to, again, that really high movement. It is the RSI slightly kind of coming down here. Same with the volumes on oscillators. So this is maybe the first signs of potentially some consolidation going on here. Not meaning it's going to come crashing down, but we're just going to see maybe some consolidation here around the 180 price target. We have some short-term support around 160 and 152. I know that's super vague and super wide, but the stock has moved substantially, so the moving averages are kind of spread quite far across. You got in at 46. God bless you, Jared. Again, I need you to trade my account as well. I was actually going to add this one around 50 because it did have that squeeze coming through here, but I just didn't. I just didn't do it. I don't know why. I just made some excuses for some reason. You made money on Solo and AMPG. Fantastic. High five, my friend. Johnny saying, Ken, how long of training to get to your level of experience? Honestly, I'm going to kind of keep it pretty simple. It's just a shit ton of mistakes. I made every mistake in the book. I've learned from it, and then I made the mistakes again and learned from it again. It's just, honestly, it's just reading a lot of books and just looking at the charts and seeing what what works for you, and just trying different studies, customize your charts. Like, again, this is like my go-to chart, but I have a multitude of other charts that I look at on a daily basis and really kind of help me understand where the market is lying or where is it going to and so forth. But it's really just gonna have, you kind of have to be an open book, and lack of better words, and just be willing to take in a lot of stuff. Like, the reason why I say, folks, hey, I'm not a great penny stock trader is because I know as myself, I'm not a fast thinker, and I'm not fast on the keyboard, and penny stocks move super fast, and I don't have the mental and emotional fortitude to really deal with super crazy swings up or down, and the day trading stuff is not really my cup of tea as well. Really finding on what your niche is. You can do multiple things. Like, I'm not saying you have to be a day trader and things like that, but it's really best to focus on 2 or 3 things within the market. Like, if you want to learn technicals, just study moving averages, start reading books and articles, watching videos about that, and trying just to be a sponge and just soak up as much as you can. And I think that's the only way. I'm not saying I don't, from my perspective, I don't think there's anyone that can just physically sit down next to you and just tell you everything. It really takes a certain mindset, honestly, to be willing to get kicked in the face and maybe kicked in the gut, maybe a part of your ear bitten off, years over years, and just learning it. Some people pick it up faster. Again, I'm not the fastest learner, so it took me like 7 years to really get consistent in the markets. But yeah, I think it just takes a little bit more, a lot of work, honestly. GP, is it going to break out? Green power. It sounds like it will. It says green and it has power in it, so it must. Why do I have this all this way up here? That's weird. Let's see here. Green power, interesting chart. Like, it's staying above $28, which is a key level here on this Fibonacci. I don't know why this is not going here. Oh, wait. There, yeah. So 27.25. Look at that. It came right down to that level. It has some initial support around the 21 EMA, which we always look at here. With that being said, the long-term target, try to break above that. Looking like it's trying to kind of potentially consolidate here, maybe trade sideways for a little bit. What the heck is going on here? Test Kumar, buy. All right, we're gonna remove that. Hold on, we got someone going in chat, going ham here. Sorry. Time out. There we go. Yeah, GP definitely has some consolidation potentially here. With that being said, the 21, even the parabolic SR dots could come down to that. But this is a somewhat of a strong pattern here. If you see it kind of bounce off a level like this and really print higher here, that definitely could be a nice little move there. Jared says, I don't understand charts very well, but I dive into CEOs, read their humanitarian level offerings, and I believe they can. Again, like, I know folks that don't even look at charts. They just look at strictly fundamentals, and they just look at, like, if you watch the dumb money folks on YouTube, they are just all about retail arbitrage and understanding the data. Like, what is the Google Trends looking like and things like that. They barely look at the chart as well, and they just buy on intuition. So I'm not saying there's a lot of ways to make money in the market, and there's a lot of ways to lose money. You just have to find out what really works for you. And Jared, thank you again for another $5. Yeah, I got a spam right here. I just got to get rid of them. But let's see here. let's see here. Spammer, yeah. SNE for long term. Thanks. SNE. Wow. Sony, again, nice play, right? That PlayStation 5 really sold off, or they sold like hotcakes, as they say. This one long term, it has had these like, I'm a little afraid like the PlayStation has a cycle, right? Like I would have to know a little bit more. Like how long did the cycle for the PlayStation 4 last until it kind of dipped? Didn't the PlayStation 4 come out like 6 or 7 years ago? So I want to look at that particular chart and kind of look at that and see how it runs up. I'm sure that the earnings will be good, right? But you don't know how that's going to react to the market. As of right now, that trend is looking super strong here with Sony. We have some initial short-term support around 102 and then a little bit more stronger support around 100 as of right now. Joel says AR and B. Yeah, that's Airbnb, right? Did I spell that right? AR and B. Maybe not. AR. Oh, B. I'm sorry. I'm about to say A, B, and oh my God. Dyslexia here. Airbnb, yes. This one, again, look at this level here. It kind of came out of the IPO, sold off, bounced substantially higher. We've seen this so many times with those IPO stocks. Comes down a little bit and then kind of gets shooken around, a little bit of chop. With that being said, on this particular chart, that being said, that 78.6 percentile move around 163 was hit pretty substantially here. If we get a break above that, again, one good sign is, again, we broke the parabolic SER dots. They went from the top to the bottom. So the trend is now potentially trying to push us higher here. With that being said here, if we do get a break above this key Fibonacci level, I don't know why my alerts are not working, around 163, that potentially could carry us up to that all-time high though. I think if the overall market and the overall tide of the market does carry us higher, I think Airbnb can go higher as well. The only caveat is with newer IPOs is to always look up the lockup dates to make sure there's not a large fire sale of early investors and workers selling their stock. That's usually sometimes a good time to buy into the stocks that you like, though. Yeah, exactly. Like Kale Boyd, like he points out, he's like, yeah, Jared, it's a good thing to find out as much as you can of the company. If you don't know something, just go and find the answer. Yeah, exactly. Like to have that conviction in a trade, to be willing to hold Tesla when it's down 50% or whatever, it takes some cojones, as they say. But thank you guys, everyone, for coming out. I really do appreciate it. PLTR, whatever happened to this son of a gun? Well, this one was like beloved by the folks on Wall Street Bets, all this other kind of stuff. It's still, I'm still have my shares as well. It is looking like it wants to kind of turn the corner here. It has crossed the 5 EMA here. I just try to put an alert out. I don't know why my alerts are kind of disappearing here. Can I even move this one down with that update? It doesn't even work. I don't know what's going on. So around $28.24 is a key level to kind of see PLTR at or above. So being some overhead pressure. That is also where the parabolic SER dots are kind of lining up. So once the the candles and the parabolic SR meet. That's going to be kind of a battle between the bulls and the bears on what's happening there to potentially see a move higher. If it doesn't happen and we get a kind of a pullback or a sell-off, we're going to be potentially looking for $24 and then potentially even down to where the 50 SMA is would be a nice level of looking for support once that hits there. IMMR Plato says could be a play for all gaming consoles. Is that the company that makes the sensors for the controllers? What is this one, Plato? I like the chart, honestly. Super interesting. It's kind of having a little bit of issues around the $12-ish range. Somewhat of a topping pattern here. But the momentum side of the things, it's still looking pretty strong between the 5 and 8 moving averages. If we do get a little bit of a push up or another kick in volume, we could definitely see a break above 12 to 30, up to 13. But some short-term downward support is going to be around that 1150 to around 1125, and then kind of coming in around 1075 there as well. Twitter, yes, Twitter. That's it. Thank you. Someone brought that up. I think some folks wanted to look at that as well. I apologize now. Twitter, of course, banning not just the president, but other folks on just doing a completely just a sweep of multiple accounts here. With that, we talked about initial support around $45.86 on Sunday. With that being said, we did kind of hit that come Monday, but bounced off of it pretty hard here. Just be mindful, we do have earnings coming out the 9th of February as well, but that has been a very aggressive move down. We've kind of seen that not kind of complete looking at their last earnings where we did have a pretty steep move down as well, and then kind of had somewhat of recovery here. This is a little bit different again. We talked about Facebook a little bit as well on the live stream today on potentially of their Facebook is basically in the crosshairs of the government, and really looking at potentially having ongoing issues with being subpoenaed and just potentially some regulations coming down to the social media companies on privacy, their role in other parts of the world and things like that. So I think I really don't want to be owning Facebook or Twitter as of right now. I think that the trend could be potentially even lower, but Twitter could bounce here really hard here and just kind of come back to that $50 range. Who knows? I just don't want to touch it though. Roland One says PLTR is going to be ripping in 2 weeks. What's happening in 2 weeks? Joel says WFC buy, sell, or hold. So yes, I'm not the biggest fan of Wells, even though they had those ongoing issues and things like that. I'm more of like a Citi, Bank of America, JP Morgan kind of guy. But the bank stocks are really going to be kicking off earnings season fairly soon here. I think a couple of them report on Thursday and then Friday. So be super mindful of that. We are seeing the banks really coming out fairly strong again due to stimulus, interest rates potentially going up. We have the higher yields on the 10-year note going higher as well. So if we do get a positive note here on the banks here, what is the move expected is for this week about $1.80. So that potentially could, in the extreme cases, catch it up to around that $36 level. If it does really move to that Fibonacci level around 36.80. But if this trend wants to continue, we're really looking for targets around $40 for that as well. Terry says BILI. Yeah, this one has been insane move. Like, I can't, there's nothing else I can really say about that. If this trend wants to continue holding the 5 and 8, we're looking for 125. Short-term support is around 110 to 107. But if that really wants to come back down, we're going to be looking for around $93 to $92. Jared, good night, my friend, and thank you for the ongoing support. I really do mean it in the bottom of my heart. Tommy says BMY, Bristol Myers. I told my wife this morning, I was like, honey, I had a lot of stock in Bristol Myers, but I sold it just I think I sold it over here on this little pop-up hire. Of course, I should have thought of it of the JP Morgan healthcare conference potentially coming out with some kind of news or whatever. But Bristol Myers really printing higher coming in the last 2 days here, hitting that somewhat of a topping pattern around that $66 range and coming right back down here. This is definitely something to be not concerned about, but something to kind of keep mindful of, like, hey, we've had that issue on large moves up around that $60 level, really around that $66 to $65 level there. With that being said, we have a lot of support around $62. NIO, we actually didn't cover NIO. That's actually surprising. I know a lot of people ask, but it's just been. I'll do a couple more here. My energy level is a little bit dropping off here. It's almost been streaming about nearly 2 hours. NIO, again, had that NIO day this past Saturday. A lot of people got on the hype train. Really came in printing hard on Monday. It has not really seen or getting above $62 here. If we want to close above $62, that could potentially get that move it above to 68. But that being said, that trend is still upward in this movement here. If we start getting that $68 to $70 price targets closing, that would be very positive to see the moving averages trying to catch up with that to potentially get that upward lift to, again, who knows, NAO could be the next $100 stock, who knows, right? Tech Gamer says DraftKings. With the old DraftKings, we're looking again. This has just been a very choppy movement here. It has not really been able to get above that $55 range like we talked about multiple times. We talked about even on the Sunday live stream. It has not been able to really puncture past that $59.69 level. Really looking at that chop, just really hitting that level with some little bit of support around $50 going there as well. I'm going to do a couple more. Leo says, what do you think about SRPT, please? Thanks, Ken. So SRPT, yeah, the data, the CEO is saying the data wasn't accurately looked at for their trial. It got hit really hard. It's going to be very difficult for something to kind of recover from that. If you're a long-term believer and you believe in the company and the stock, like I can say go for it, but I can't really touch that with a 10-foot pole. WBA, Greg is asking, yeah, that has been moving pretty well as well. That, again, I think a lot of it to do with their turnaround, and also, again, they're one of the main hubs for vaccines. Samir is asking about AMD. Yeah, AMD, love the stock as well. I'm continue to buy it here between that $93 to $94 level. Really looking to stay above 89 with the short-term target to try to break above 100. Really want to see it break above 100. That would really make my day. Zillow, the NRZ long-term new residential investment company. I don't know this one. It has the dividends racing up, so that's always a good sign, right? This was a $17 stock before the pandemic, and now it's coming down pretty hard here. It's having a little bit issues above $10.30 here. Kind of see that with that line in the sand here. If we are trying to break this out higher here to these levels here, we're going to be really looking for, again, this looks like the stock doesn't move like a Tesla or an IO, so it's going to be a very slow, easy grinder. So I think you're really in it for potentially the dividend here. Looking like the 21 to the 34, 21, the 5 and 8 are crossing through the 21 EMA, and potentially if it stays above that 950 range, we potentially could get some consolidation and maybe a move higher here. I have the $55 call for January 22nd. I would be a little bit careful on that. You can roll that, honestly, Tech Gamer. You can roll that to like the February expiration to give yourself some more time. The only thing is that it's a weekly expiration, so it's not usually my favorite kind of option, because again, the volume might be kind of low here. So you have it on the 22nd, the 55. It looks like there's a little bit of volume there. Yeah, there's plenty of volume there, so that's fine. If you're more waiting to see if it can hold longer to maybe get a print higher here, again, be mindful of that. You can just roll it into the next month and so forth. I don't know how to pronounce your name. GIOG can you look at OCGN? Okay. Another penny stock. Wow, what a rip higher here. Not sure what happened here at all. So, if we're strictly looking at the chart here, my friend, again, penny stock's not really my wheelhouse. The next initial support would be around the 21 EMA. It also lines up with the parabolic SAR dot, so around $1.80 to $1.85 could be the next level of support being said there. But that being said, it looks like it has some support there on the 8 in the pounds is higher, so we could maybe get a jump here to that next level. But it looks like potentially the $3.50 to $4 could be the next level if we do get a very aggressive bounce. Let's just do a couple more, go really fast. Apple, OS is improved with a COVID vaccine. Oh, okay. That looks good. Nice. Good for them. PDD, I saw from someone. Yeah, PDD, I missed this one terribly. This one, again, came back to the 21 EMA, has bounced. The momentum is slowly slowing down here. You see the RSI and the volumes on oscillator are kind of sinking into hibernation mode. So this could potentially, as long as it stays above the 163 to 164, this could be fine. We start breaking below that level, we could be seeing a 155 to 146 level is there as well. But we are having that all-time high is going to be basically the next level of resistance with a key Fibonacci level around 193. Let's see here. WTHR. WTRH. Interesting play. Not sure what this is. Strong level of overhead pressure around $3.70. key support around $3 to $3.05 we've seen here as well, with some targets if it does get breaking here with the momentum switching. So that's kind of good. You see the RSI and the volume zone kind of building up here. So we could see potential targets around 370 with potentially targets up to $4.65. MP, we talked about MP, Aaron. MP, I like it a little bit. Again, it had a huge move today, about nearly 18%. It has held that 21 EMA around that $30 level. It has printed higher here. Looking for some initial levels of overhead pressure coming in on 35 to around the $36 range, potentially at those levels there. QLI. Wow. No idea what this company is. Is this a, what is this? QLI. Yeah, nothing really to add there. I don't know how you expect a technical readout on this one. Just like I need a couple more days or even a little bit longer to really kind of break this out. Brendan says CRSR. Yeah, I haven't looked at that one. CRSR. Interesting. I love it. Brendan, nice call. I like this one a lot. So the reason why I say that is that if we, my alerts are not working. I need to write these down. CRSR looking like it could break out here. By what I mean is if we do get a breakout above $42, we could get that nice kick higher here with that squeeze and RSI and volume zone going higher. So $42 could potentially put us in the short term to 47 to that all-time high of $51 as well. Byron Kari, thank you for becoming a live stream member. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I saw someone ask for X. That's U.S. Steel. Yeah, that has been on a tear, right? Again, these copper steel building companies have been on a tear. We saw some pretty good numbers, I believe, from KB Homes. Their stock was up after hours with earnings. This one, if it continues, wants to moving higher, we're going to be looking for some consolidation or overhead resistance around $26 with some short-term support around 21. And then AMD for Sky or Shy. AMD, yeah. We wanted to keep it above $90 or $89. The key target is really in the short term to really break above 100. I think once we get through that gate of $100, we could potentially see 106 to 110 pretty easily. It's kind of the same methodology with Penn. Once that stock, really, once that stock gets really above 100, it really does climb fairly fast. Venkat asking for Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, it needs to stay above $3,080. So basically, just needs to stay above $3,000. If we start getting below that, we could be seeing some consolidation around some lower prices, kind of around the $2,800 to $2,900, kind of where the 200 EMA lies. But again, full understanding, we do have earnings coming up as well, so be super mindful of that coming through. Let's see here. MPW. That sounds familiar. Medical Properties Trust. Interesting. Looking like it had some issues around $21.75. Has not been able to get above that. Looking like potentially it wants to consolidate here around $20. We have some support initially around $19.73. Really just kind of waiting to see which way it breaks, higher or lower at these two ranges here. Chen is asking about Fastly. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors and murmurs about that one. With that rumor mill going here, if we do get the 5 and 8 to cross through the 21 EMA and breaking the parabolic SER dots, we could potentially see another test of $100 here, but we do have some short-term support around the $81 to $82 range. Chewy. Of course, the dog company of Amazon. Really bounced off the 21 EMA, kind of making a cup here. If we do get a break around 106 to the all-time high to 109, we potentially could test 113 to even 120 if we get that momentum to really carry us through. We do have a nice little increase in volume. RSI and the volume zone oscillator are both looking to print higher on that one. We did Lemonade. Lemonade is a little bit looking toppy to me, but who knows with that one. That has been moving up quite a lot. Tommy's saying, William is asking for mom. You want a mom ticker? Does that really exist? Oh, wow, it does. Momentum ETF. Interesting. It's kind of having issues here. Looking at like some consolidation around 24.50 here, but it's having some issues getting really back above 20. It's kind of somewhat been beaten down here quite substantially. Tommy is asking for PAC. That's Pacific Science, whatever it's called. Yeah, Pacific Biosciences. Again, that healthcare stuff's really much in check here. Initially looking for some short-term support around 31 and then some longer support around $27 to $25. But that is somewhat, I wouldn't say overbought, but it's the levels are kind of high, but we can continue to grind higher. It's very hard to kind of buy up here. Asking for Frog. I need Frog to recover here. I own some of this as well here. Okay. With this here around $62 to $60. Really would love to see it back above 66, even to 7 or 60, 66 to 77, $66 to $67 to the upside here. Really need to see that 5 and 8 kind of cross to the 21A to really push us higher here. Shy Red says ALAC. Wow, what a move. Another acquisition here. Wow. Okay. Not sure what is acquiring here, but this is definitely a very spicy move here without a doubt. But yeah. Unity, it was you. Yeah, this one's trying to come back around here. It has crossed to the 21 EMA, kind of holding the 34, bounced off a little bit off the 50-day SMA here, looking for to potentially kind of break and stay above 150. We are kind of running into earnings towards the beginning of February, so about 2.5-ish weeks away. Volume's been fairly light. RSI and volume zone also have been in hibernation mode. So this could potentially just kind of consolidate between 145 to 150 for a little bit to potentially see where this could take us. On that one, folks, I'm sorry. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do Zoom, and then I'm going to have to call it a night. I've been streaming for over 2 hours, and I need to get my beauty sleep. With that being said, Zoom, there's some rumors going out there. Again, this has been trying to bounce off here around the 327, which is the 200 EMA on the daily chart. But this chart has been beaten up multiple times here, and really having some issues. If we want to try to see this trend reverse, we need to get the 5 and 8 to move higher and push us past the overall stock, past the 21 EMA. We've tried it twice now, almost 3 times, and have failed every single time. So really need to see that to kind of come into fruition, to see that coming through. On that one note, guys, I really do appreciate everyone coming out and liking the video. Please, again, if there's anyone that knows that anyone has have a Costco sponsorship, please let me know on how I get in contact with that, because I would love a Costco sponsorship, without a doubt. Anyways, joking aside, please hit the like and subscribe on the way out the door. And hopefully we'll do some more live streams. I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank everyone for tipping and giving the donations as well. That really means a lot to the bottom of my heart and really helps me keep my work going in the sense of just helping a lot of people and hearing the stories of people like, oh, I got into technical analysis thanks to you, Ken, all that kind of stuff. But that being said, guys, thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.